that he had resigned and moved himself as well as his family out of Florida. At that time stating that we, all of us in here, will be in serious trouble. Furthermore, I want to specify something else. General Development had to register a restriction on a title for each individual living here. There are two separate kinds of restrictions. One is an easement. The easement is usually where you have the power lines. Yes, FPL has the right to enter that location for repairs, whatever, transformer blows up or whatever. That's fine. Why? Because we are using the electricity, and yes, we have a benefit from it. But then you have something registered on the title, which is called a setback. Setback is that the individual, the owner, cannot, let's say, put a storage shed in the front or hide trees. That is because of the obstruction of the view. Therefore, on a setback, no one has the right to put a foot on that property. These people, every owner, is cutting the grass, maintaining the property, and there is no way you could even legally enter that property. Now you have an attorney on a board. Perhaps he'll be good enough to check into that and straighten the board itself. You do not allow people to get off the grid and use well system, which is good on a lot of locations. And now you're forcing people to pay for sewer. Now I'll give you an example. If I have a company manufacturing shoes, and I'm selling the shoes and doing really well, so I'm going to increase the production and therefore change the line and therefore the machinery. Do you honestly believe that I have the right to turn around and every individual that purchased a pair of shoes from me has to now contribute to replace the equipment and the machinery? Think about that for a minute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Great job, Anne. You did great.
Again, if you have not filled out a speaker card, you would need to do that. I'm going to ask staff at the back of the room, do you have any additional speaker cards? No, Marty, no additional speaker cards. Last call. If you haven't filled out a speaker card, you need to do that.
Not many.
Last call.
Consider there's 1,000 or more. They're not here.
Mr. Chairman, I see no one else rising. I move to close the public hearing.
A motion is second to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Hearing none, passes unanimously.
How about that?
Okay. Who's been
That
taking
should be
notes and
influenced.
who's prepared to start addressing some of the questions?
Staying.
Go ahead, sir.
I am. Yeah.
Mr. Rudy,
No, we don't get to talk.
if this goes
They
through,
just discuss
start
it.
and finish dates.
As mentioned earlier,
Hit your button.
as mentioned earlier, start date, contract to be going out for bid early this next year, this winter.
That's bid.
And then contract to start as soon as possible after that. And just like East West Spring Lake, this is a multi-phase process. We have to go ahead and install new water lines, transfer services over to new water line, install sewer lines, transfer services over to new sewer line, remove the old water lines, and then also don't forget, it's also total road repaving and also swale restoration. So it's about a 5-year process.
Okay, I got some
Lovely.
questions for those answers. Number one, if you were shutting down water and shutting everything down completely, it would be faster. But because you have to phase it in other words, you've got to construct things that are usable before you deconstruct things that are being used. So just as it took forever on Harbor Boulevard to get the road done, it was because you were putting in water and correcting sewer pipes and doing all those things while you were moving traffic, while people were still using those facilities every single day.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Same as East West Spring Lake. Same thing.
And the road portion is not being paid for by this assessment.
Correct.
The road portion is being done separately through other funding sources, not this assessment.
Correct.
Okay. The 11,500
What is other funding
is a
source?
fixed amount of money that is guaranteed to the ratepayer, to the person who's being affected, to the owner of the ERC. That is the guaranteed maximum price for that person if they pay outright or if they pay the $50 a month for 20 years.
$575.
Sorry.
$50 a month.
For 20 years, but that's 50, well, that's roughly $50 a month, or I'm sorry, didn't want to round up.
That's quite an increase in a lot of people's
Wow.
income.
Thank you for hesitating.
$50 doesn't buy much groceries
We
anymore.
have included a prepayment option in there, so you can prepay, but unlike if you pay with your ad valorem assessment, you will not get a discount. So if you decide to prepay, you will not get the discount that you would normally get with your ad valorem taxes.
I understand what you're saying, so 4% is not there if you're prepaying, right? Gotcha. The assessment starts in 2020. To the person who said, we've known about this since 1968, well, I was 6 years old in 1968, so I'm not taking credit for the mistakes of that county commission. I'm not taking credit for the mistakes of the 1992 to 96 commission when they balked at putting in sewers. I am taking credit for 2014 when I finally got people to get off the stick and say we have to do something. I also want to dispel rumors incorrectly. This has nothing to do with the financial stability of the utility. In fact, a year ago, I think, I said we need to have separate utility meetings. We wear two hats. We are county commissioners, we run the business of the county. The other hat we wear is we run a utility. And I wanted quarterly utility meetings so we could flesh out exactly what the financial status was of the utility. We have some pretty big bonds that are going to retire within 5 years. Okay, so there's a lot of money that we're going to save and having to pay on interest, and we're very carefully taking on new debt. Very carefully. Not because we're trying to make money, but because we have aging pipes in the ground, sewer and water, that are really a problem. And if we don't proactively fix those things, then we're going to have pipes bursting every Sunday night, and emergency crews going out there, and people having issues and having to boil water. So we're trying to stay on top of the water side and also the sewer side. Mr. Rudy, how many million gallons a day do we treat at Eastport?
Eastport alone?
6?
Under 6. Total system, all 4 plants is at 6 million gallons.
6 million gallons a day for the entire county.
Yes, sir.
So 6 million gallons a day, every single day, times 365 is what we process as far as sewage and nitrogen being pulled out of the system. 6 million gallons a day.
2.2 billion gallons a year.
Okay, 2.2
How many are they
gallons a
going to
year.
add to
So,
that
while I'm
with
not
sewers?
happy about
Yes, you
10,000
said you want me to
gallons
get
here
rid of
or
my
8,000
septic.
gallons here, and
Yeah,
certainly
really.
when
They
the
won't miss
rains
yours.
come and the system fills up, that's a problem. Mr. Rudy and his team have got together and purchased additional pumps and generators to make sure that prior to big storms, they pump down
That's
all of
because
those areas where they know
they
they're
were
going to have
required
flooding.
to by the
And crews
state.
are out through the storm pumping down to make sure
What
that
happens when
those
the pumps
spills
go down?
don't occur, and if
That's-
they do, they're very, very limited in their amount.
The
Now,
state
when
just
those
gave
big
them
rains
some more
come,
pumps.
what do you think happens to all the sewage, all that waste that's sitting in your septic tanks? It doesn't sit there. All of that nitrogen flushes out into our waterways. Now, unfortunately, we didn't have Dr. Reeves here tonight. Dr. Reeves from Western Michigan University has done a modeling study.
That's a
I
modeling
urge
study.
all of you to wait maybe a day
Modeling.
and then go on the website, it should be up from today's workshop, and
I was
view
there, I
his
was not
modeling of the
impressed.
African waterway, and see how over 40 years, we've had tons and tons and tons of nitrogen that's stored up in your system right now, in your area. And it will take 10 years, but we're probably going to see 50% of it go away in the first 2 years once the septic tanks are gone and the sewers are in place. That's how much residual nitrogen is sitting in there and feeding the system. We didn't cause this problem. General development got by, and I'm not really happy about that. But we're trying to implement a solution, and it's a stepwise, painful, year-by-year, step-by-step solution to our area. If you go on the website, you'll see the 5, 10-year, and 15-year setup for the project, for what we're trying to do to clean up the waterways. This is about the future generations, and unfortunately, nobody was paying their way up until now. And now we're all gonna have to pay a little bit, okay? The other part of this is, I have a question about people that have put in a new system or a system with the aerobic transfer treatment units. Will there be credits for those folks if those systems are newer, or is there anything that we have in place?
We have nothing in place.
We have nothing in place for that, okay. Sea level rise
Yeah.
was brought up. Are we engineering the system, that was a very good question, for presumed, it's several inches over the next several decades, but you know, let's say it goes up a foot in 50 years. Are we prepared with how the system is being designed for that sea level rise? And by the way, that sea level rise will also negatively affect septic systems that are coastal and proximate to the waterways.
The
We're
current
not
system going in
coastal.
will be at the level of the 500-year floodplain.
500-year floodplain, okay.
What? Say that again.
The 4 questions. Is it true? Yes, the science is true. We have an ecological and environmental problem, and it's everywhere. And we're trying to address the coastal areas first. If you look and see what we've done so far with Spring Lake and also with the area that's up off Melbourne, North Shore. So we're trying to do everything coastal first and then work in off the water also. We're trying to do the oldest areas and the oldest systems first. Is it fair to all? We're trying to improve the waterways for everybody, and each area is that is involved in this is going to have to pitch in, but we're trying to make it fair to all, because what we're trying to do is keep the cost level. How much are the systems that they're putting in Cape Coral, Mr. Rudy?
I don't have that number off the top of my head, sir.
It's something like
$19,000.
$28,000 or $29,000 per home. Ours is $11,500.
What time?
And what were we discussing, I want to say 10 years ago? I think it was $10,000. I mean, we have really tried to hold the line on the pricing. It's not what it's costing the utility. We're taking money from Restore. We're taking money from multiple sources. Somebody asked a question about bonding. We are doing state revolving fund at a very, very low interest rate. We have done everything we possibly can. We are seeking federal funding. We're seeking state funding. This is something that the governor is pushing for as far as cleaning up the springs and also cleaning up coastal waterways. This is a statewide push. And by the way, Charlotte County, I think I'm speaking for my fellow commissioners, we're of the opinion we are the county that is in the best position for putting sewers in, because we were so proactive 5 years before this governor even stepped up to the mic and said, you know, we need to do something about getting people off septics and onto sewer systems. So we are shovel ready, and that puts us in the best position. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to yield back, because I'm sure my colleagues want to do something.
Good. I'm going to go to Commissioner Truex, and I'll come back to this side. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple other things that I think we should take credit for, not take credit for. I've been here 28 years, and I've seen commission after commission deny the need for repair and replacement in our utility system. And this board has been pushing it since I came on in 2012. The push began, and the push continues. And the focus on repair and replacement has increased since 2014, and it continues to be put on. Because boards before us were afraid to raise rates to pay for the repair and maintenance of the system. Poor management. I'm fine to hear a lot of things that people say that you're unhappy about, and I agree with a lot of it. But the lack of facts, I don't agree with. The fact is that we have impaired water, we've been ignoring the system, and we've been focused on repairing, not just trying to get rid of the source, the point source for these nutrients. So I'm proud of our board. If I don't get reelected, I don't get reelected. But I know that we are doing the right thing for our environment and our community overall. I am sorry it's painful. But when I moved down here, I knew the soils in this community 28 years ago were not made for septic systems on 10,000 square foot lots. And I lived on septic systems up north. They were on 3 acres, 5 acres. We're